Renuka Devi is an assistant professor at the Department of Statistics, Presidency College, Chennai. Mrs. R. Renuka Devi has done her MPhil from Madras Christian College. She has 23 years of teaching experience and has published one research paper. She has also presented, participated, and organized conferences and workshops on statistics-related subjects.
Welcome to UGC lecture series on mathematical sciences. In the previous session, we discussed different sampling survey techniques. Also, under probability sampling techniques, we discussed simple random sampling and stratified random sampling. In today's session, I am going to cover allocation of sample size in different strata under stratified random sampling, comparative study of stratified random sampling with simple random sampling, systematic sampling, also comparison of systematic with simple and stratified random sampling techniques. Let us learn some of the notations which we may use in stratified random sampling. Let I denote for the stratum and J for the sampling unit within the stratum. Capital Ni denote the number of units in the ith stratum of the population. Small ni is equal to number of units in the ith stratum of the sample. Wi is defined as stratum weight and it is expressed as capital Ni by capital N. Small fi is called sampling fraction in the stratum, which is given as Ni by capital Ni. So, fi is the sampling fraction in the stratum. Let us learn some more notations used in stratified random sampling. Yij denote the value of the jth unit in the ith stratum. Jth unit in the ith stratum. And sample mean is denoted by yi dot bar, sample mean, and it is defined as summation yij by Ni and summation over j is equal to 1 to Ni. And overall sample mean is denoted by y bar and it is defined as summation over I is equal to 1 to k Ni yi bar divided by n. Stratum variance is denoted by Si squared and it is expressed as summation over j is equal to 1 to capital Ni Yij minus yi dot bar the whole squared by Ni minus 1. For stratified random sampling without replacement, the sampling variance of Yst bar is given by variance of Yst bar, sampling variance of the mean y bar. Since it is under stratified, we have here Yst bar is equal to summation over I is equal to 1 to k Ni into capital Ni minus small ni divided by capital N squared into Si squared by small ni. This can also be written as 1 minus Fi into Wi squared into Si squared by Ni. This Wi squared is the stratum weight and this is the sampling fraction. This we have already defined and discussed. An unbiased estimator of the variance under stratified sampling is given by small v of Yst bar is equal to summation over I is equal to 1 to k Wi squared, it is small Si squared by Ni minus summation Wi small Si squared by n. Now, we will see how to allocate sample sizes in different strata. Generally, there are 4 methods of allocation of sample sizes: equal allocation, proportional allocation, Neyman allocation and optimum allocation. We will discuss one by one. First method, equal allocation. So, here all the sample stratum will have the uniform size, same size. In this method, the total sample size n is divided equally among the strata, that is for ith stratum we have Ni is equal to small n divided by k. And the second method, proportional allocation. So, here we have no other information except for Ni, that is only with the information Ni we are going to allocate the sample stratum size. The total number of units in the ith stratum is available, that is Ni. The allocation of a given sample of size n to different strata is done in proportion to their sizes. That is, in the ith stratum the size will be small ni is equal to n into capital Ni by capital N. It gives a self-weighing sample by which numerous estimates can be made with a greater speed and higher degree of precision. And the third method of allocating sample strata size is Neyman allocation. This allocation is based on joint consideration of the stratum size and the stratum variation. In this allocation, it is assumed that the sampling cost per unit among different strata is the same and the size of the sample is also fixed. Now, we will derive the variance under the Neyman's allocation. In Neyman allocation, the sample size is given by Ni is equal to n into Wi Si divided by summation over I is equal to 1 to k Wi Si, and this can also be written as n into capital Ni Si divided by summation over I is equal to 1 to k Ni Si. This is from the definition of Wi, because Wi is nothing but capital Ni by n. And substituting this Ni in variance of Yst bar, that is, it is given by this we have already seen, summation Wi square Si squared by Ni minus summation Wi Si squared by n. So, substituting this Ni in variance of Yst bar, we get variance of Yst bar as summation Wi Si the whole square by Ni minus summation Wi Si squared by n. Now, we will discuss the other method of allocating sample strata size, that is optimum allocation. The sample size n in the respective strata are determined with a view to minimize variance for a specified cost of conducting the sample survey or to minimize the cost for a specified value of variance. So, under optimum allocation, both the factors are taken into consideration, that is variance as well as the cost. The simplest cost function here assumed in optimum allocation is C is equal to A plus summation Ni Ci, where A is the overhead cost and it is a constant, and Ci is the average cost of surveying one unit in the ith stratum, which may depend upon the nature and size of the units. We will discuss this method of optimum allocation. To determine the value of Ni, that is sample stratum size, we consider the function phi, which is given by variance of Yst bar plus lambda c, where c is the cost function, that is A plus summation Ni Ci. Now, substituting for variance of Yst bar and the cost function c, we get phi to be summation Wi Si the whole square by Ni minus summation Wi Si square by capital N plus lambda, the cost function is A plus summation over I is equal to 1 to k Ni Ci. Using the calculus method of Lagrange's multipliers, we select Ni and the constant lambda to minimize phi. So, differentiating with respect to Ni, we get rho phi by dou Ni, this is equivalent to minus twice Wi Si the whole squared by Ni squared plus lambda Ci is equal to 0, and here I ranges from 1 to k, since we have k star terms. So, finally, on simplification we get Wi squared Si squared by Ni squared is equal to lambda Ci, and from this we get the Ni value to be Wi Si divided by square root of lambda Ci. Let us mark this as 1. Now, summing over all strata we get n is equal to summation over I is equal to 1 to k, since we have k strata, Wi Si divided by lambda square root of lambda Ci, and we will mark this as 2. From 1 and 2 we can obtain Ni value to be n into Wi Si by square root of Ci divided by summation Wi Si by square root of Ci, and this is also can be written as n into Ni Si square root of Ci divided by summation Ni Si by square root of Ci. Now, we will see the relative precision of stratified random sampling. We shall make a comparative study of the usual estimators under simple random sampling and stratified random sampling with proportional and optimum allocation. Now, we will see the relative precision of stratified random sampling with simple random sampling. The variance of the estimator of mean denoted by variance of y bar SR, this is for simple random sampling, and variance of YST bar, that is in stratified random sampling, under proportional allocation, and variance of YST bar in Neyman optimum allocation. Now, we know that variance of y bar in simple random sampling is 1 minus f by n into sy squared. If finite population correction, that is 1 minus f is ignored, this is equal to sy squared by n. Now, variance of YST bar in proportional allocation, we know that it is equal to summation over I is equal to 1 to k Ni Si square divided by capital N into small n minus summation Wi Si squared by small n. And we will write the variance of YST bar in optimum allocation. Variance of YST bar in Neyman's optimum allocation as summation Ni Si the whole squared by capital N squared into small n minus summation Wi Si squared by n. Now, we will consider first the simple random sampling with proportional allocation. So, subtracting the one from the other, variance of y bar in simple random sampling minus variance of YST bar in proportion allocation. On simplification, we get this expression as summation over I is equal to 1 to k capital Ni into yi bar minus y bar the whole squared by small n into n, which is a positive quantity. So, we can say that variance of y bar in simple random sampling is equal to variance of YST bar in proportion allocation plus some positive quantity. So, which implies that the estimator obtained by the stratified sampling under proportional allocation is more precise than the estimator obtained through simple random sampling. Now, we will compare variance under proportional allocation with variance under Neimann's allocation. Now, we will write the expression. We know already the expressions. Now, subtract the one from the other. Variance of YST bar in proportional allocation minus variance of YST bar in optimum allocation. This we get the expression to be 1 by small n into capital N, Ni into Si minus S bar the whole squared, where S bar is equal to summation over I is equal to 1 to k Ni Si by n. Again the right hand side is to be some positive quantity. We get variance of YST bar in proportion allocation to be variance of YST bar in optimum allocation plus some positive quantity, which shows that variance of YST bar under proportion allocation is greater than the variance of the estimator under optimum allocation. Now, we have the relationship. We have shown that variance of optimum allocation is less than or equal to variance of proportion allocation is less than or equal to variance under simple random sampling. So, we can conclude that Neimann's optimum allocation gives better results than proportion allocation. In so far, we have considered simple random sampling and stratified random sampling. In all these two methods, the units, sample units, all the units are drawn at random. But here systematic sampling is a special technique which has a nice feature of selecting only the first unit at random and other unit will be selected by a pre-designed pattern. So, the sampling techniques has a nice feature of selecting the whole sample with just one random start, and only the first unit is selected with the help of random numbers, and the rest of the units get selected automatically according to some pre-designed pattern. And suppose let us assume that there are n units in the population, they are numbered from 1 to capital N in some order. Let capital N is equal to nk, where n is the sample size and k is an integer. A random number less than or equal to k be selected from every kth unit and thereafter. The resultant sample is called k systematic sample, and such a procedure is called linear systematic sampling. If capital N is equal to nk is not equal to nk and every kth unit be included in a circular manner till the whole list is exhausted. This procedure is called circular systematic sampling. Systematic sampling is simple and it is a foolproof procedure. It also provides estimates more efficient than simple random sampling. And we will have now the schematic representation of systematic samples in the population of n units. So, here we have the sample number. It starts from 1, 2 and so on. We have k systematic samples, and the unit in the first systematic sample is denoted by 1, y1, then y1 plus k, and we have y1 plus n minus 1 k, the nth unit. In the second systematic sample, the units are y2, y2 plus k and y2 plus n minus 1 k, and in the ith systematic sample we have I, yi plus k, and similar manner we have yi plus n minus 1 k. In kth systematic sample we have yk, y2k and so on ynk. And here we have mean for each of these samples denoted by y1 dot bar, y2 dot bar, and for the ith sample it is yi dot bar, and for the kth sample yk dot bar. We have two sampling selection procedures in under systematic sampling, linear systematic sampling and circular systematic sampling. In linear systematic sampling, the population is linearly ordered such that units can be referred by number. Let the population size capital N be expressible in the form Nk, and let the selected random number be I, which is less than or equal to k, k being called the sampling interval. In this procedure, the sample comprises the units I plus k, I plus 2k and so on, I plus n minus 1k. And n is if not expressible in the form capital N is equal to small n k, this leads to samples of unequal sizes, and k is taken as integer nearest to capital N by small n. Then a random number is chosen from 1 to k, and every kth unit is drawn in the sample. Under this condition, the samples are not of the same size. So, we have an example for linear systematic sampling procedure. If the population size is equal to 11 and the sample size is 4, then the value of k is 11 by 4, integer value of 11 by 4, which is 3, and the possible samples are, so the random starts from the first number 1, then increased by 3, 1 plus 3 is 4, that is 4th unit, then 4 plus 3 7th unit, and 7 plus 3 10th unit. So, the first sample comprises of 1, 4, 7 and 10. Similarly, we have 2, 5, 8, 11 and 3, 6, 9. So, here we can notice that all the samples are of not equal sizes. The first two samples sizes are 4 and the third sample is of size 3. To overcome this difficulty of varying sample size, under the situation n is not equal to nk, the procedure is slightly modified, and by which a constant sample size is always obtained. The unit is selected randomly from 1 to n, and thereafter selecting every kth unit, k being an integer nearest to n by n in a circular manner. See, here we have an illustration. The sample will then consist of the units corresponding to the serial number I plus jk. If I plus jk is less than or equal to n, for j ranges from 1 to n minus 1, and I plus jk minus n if I plus jk greater than n. And here also we have an illustration for circular systematic sampling. Let n is equal to 11, that is population size, and sample size is 4, then k is equal to 3. If I is equal to 1, then j is from 0, 1, 2, 3. So, here we have the condition j ranges from 1 to n minus 1, n is the sample size. So, n is 4, so 4 minus 1 is 3. So, j ranges from 0 to 3. The units corresponding to the number I plus jk, that is 1, 4, 7, 10 will be selected. If I is equal to 2, again j ranges from 1 to 3. The units corresponding to I plus jk, so substituting for j each of the values 0, 1, 2, 3, we get 2, 5, 8, 11, and we get the other samples as given. Now, we will see the advantages of systematic sampling. The main advantages is its simplicity of selection and operational convenience and even spread of the samples over the population. Systematic sampling provides an efficient estimate as compared to other alternative designs. Now, we will see the estimation of mean and its sampling variance. We derive the estimation of mean and its sampling variance in systematic sampling. So, estimation of mean is expectation of y bar in systematic sampling is equal to 1 by k summation yi dot bar, I ranges from 1 to k, and this is equal to 1 by nk summation over I summation over j yij, which is equal to the population mean y bar. So, expectation of the sample mean in systematic sampling is equal to capital Y bar. So, sample mean is an unbiased estimator of the population mean in systematic sampling. Now, we will get the expression for the sampling variance under systematic sampling. The variance of the estimator of the population mean in systematic sampling is nk minus 1 into s square by n squared k into 1 plus n minus 1 into rho, where rho is the intra-class correlation between the units of the same systematic sample. Now, we will compare the systematic sampling with the other sampling procedure, that is simple random sampling. We will write the expressions for the variance of the estimator in both simple random sampling and systematic sampling. Variance of y bar in simple random sampling is given by n minus small n by n into capital N into s squared, and in systematic sampling the variance is obtained as nk minus 1 into s squared by n into n 1 plus n minus 1 into rho by n minus n s squared. This is actually variance of systematic sampling by variance of simple random sampling. And on simplification we get this as n minus 1 by capital N minus n into 1 plus rho into n minus 1. So, here the comparison is based on the value of rho. If rho is equal to minus 1 by n minus 1, if rho is equal to minus 1 by n minus 1, then the two methods gives the estimates of equal precision. If rho is less than minus 1 by n minus 1, the estimate by systematic sampling is more precise than the other method. The following topics were discussed in this session: stratified random sampling, allocation of sample size in different strata under equal allocation, proportional allocation, Neyman allocation and optimum allocation, systematic sampling, sample selection procedure under systematic sampling, and we also compared systematic sampling with simple random sampling. The questions are: what is stratified random sampling? For stratified random sampling, obtain the sampling variance of the population mean under proportional allocation. What is systematic random sampling? Obtain the relative precision of stratified sampling with simple random sampling. Thank you for watching the UGC lecture series on mathematical sciences.